Hello everyone, welcome to another Rosie video. I know it's been a little bit since my last one. I've been trying to make more videos. Again, I'm incredibly busy. When I have free time, all I think about is making videos, so it is on my radar. I want to make more, but right now we're kind of in a slow spot, I guess. But besides that, I'm here to talk to you about the new Spectre cards that have been released, plus just kind of Spectre in general as a shared trait for the Star Wars Unlimited card game, and what I foresee with this tribe or I guess clan, whatever you want to call them, group, just cards with this aspect. The newest and coolest news for this aspect or whatever you want to call it, trait. The newest news for this trait is the reveal of the Ghost. So this new unit right here just got revealed for the upcoming set 4. The Ghost is a 5/6 for 5 Rebel Vehicle Transport Spectre. Each other friendly Spectre unit gains this unit's keywords, and while this unit is upgraded, it gains Sentinel. So, a little bit of background. In set 1 of this game, Hera, Sabine, basically all of the cards, these top 10 cards right here, these all came out in the first set of this game. I actually made a Hera deck in set 1. I enjoyed playing it. It was a lot of fun. It was not competitively viable whatsoever. Hera is a leader who's flip side. I don't know if I can get to the. Let me click and see. Yeah, so her horizontal side says ignore the aspect penalty on Spectre card you play. Sabine is technically a Spectre leader also. People don't run her with the Spectre units. That just doesn't happen. I've never seen it happen, and I would be shocked if somebody did. It would not make a lot of sense. But the ability to ignore the aspect penalty on Spectre cards is a cool idea for a leader. Unfortunately, when it goes against the likes of Boba Fett, who was unbanned at that time, it just can't win. It just does not have the tools to get to the win. And a lot of people were speculating they're putting these cards in right now, but this isn't the last we're going to see of the Spectres. For example, Hera didn't have a unit, just regular unit card besides her leader card. Sabine did. Sabine had a unit and also a leader, which was pretty cool. So people were obviously, there's going to be more copies of Chopper that come out, more copies of Ezra, more Kanans, more Sabines. Like, it's just going to happen. We didn't see any Spectres for the next 2 sets. Now, set 4 spoilers are starting to come out, and that's a lie. Sorry, we did have another Spectre in set 3. We had another copy of Sabine, a yellow Sabine. So I'm not gonna sit here and read you every single ability and how every interaction works and stuff like that. I'm mainly just here to talk about the Ghost, talk about some interesting things related to that, and kind of just the trait as a whole. But yeah, set 3 we did get Sabine. But set 4, they've spoiled these 4, right? So Hera is the first, the only ground unit that they spoiled for set 4, and I believe the only ground unit Spectre we're gonna get. She's really simple. She's just a 2/3 restore 1 for 2. She's essentially an Arc 170 on the ground, or she's an Arc 170 attachment. She has piloting, and she just does the same thing that she does on the ground, essentially. That she equips herself to another space unit, such as maybe Ghost 1, Ghost 2, whatever. Phantom 2 is a ship. It's a 3/3 for 3. It has an action. It has grit normally. It has an action to attach itself to the Ghost. So either this Ghost or the Ghost up here, and it'll give it +3/+3 in grit. That's by itself doesn't seem super good, but when you look at the new Ghost, you're like, oh, ooh, we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna skip over the Ghost for now. We're gonna go to Sabine's Masterpiece. Sabine's Masterpiece is a 3/3 for 3. On attack, you control one of the, depending on what color units you control, you get a certain effect. That works really well with Spectres because we're ignoring the aspect penalty on Spectre cards. So theoretically, we would have a yellow, a blue, a red, and a green unit out there. I guess Hera's only. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. But Hera Leader's the only green Spectre right now. But you know, if you're running Hera, you're probably gonna have green cards in your deck. Maybe you have a supplemental green somewhere, because this isn't necessarily limited to Spectre units. You're still gonna get the triggers. By itself, Sabine's Masterpiece does not seem that great, but in the context of what type of deck you might be running it in, it provided a lot of like needed support for this deck. You know, people saw this reveal. I believe this was the first Spectre revealed. Maybe it was Hera. I think it was Sabine's Masterpiece. People saw this reveal. They were like, oh, yes, Spectre's getting a little bit more support. I think people were kind of thinking it was going to be like a Sabine situation. Well, that's a lie. Sorry. People were suspecting Hera was going to get a second leader printing because Set 4 is space themed. That did not happen. The last the last leader came out, and it's Kazuda, I think is his name, from Resistance. I admittedly have not watched Resistance, so it is on my list. Just hasn't been a high priority of mine. Doesn't really matter. These 4 cards are going to do numbers in supporting the original cast of 11 going into Set 4. And I think the deck will become legitimately playable. And the main reason is because of this Ghost right here, this legendary copy of the Ghost. But I can get into that in a second. I think it's going to be not super overpowered by any means. I mean, we're not going to be saying to ban Hera, that's for sure. Hera's still fundamentally a weak leader because you can't get any action or any help on her horizontal side. I also think you just get more value in other decks. It's going to struggle. It struggles against aggro, if I remember from set 1 correctly. It just could not race with other decks. The top end is not the worst in the world. It's kind of more of a mid-rangey. It wants to marinate a little bit type deck. And in a game that's pretty quick and paced pretty fast, that's not always the best thing in the world. Anyways, we can finally talk about the Ghost now. When I saw this card revealed, my jaw dropped. The Ghost is a 5/6 Rebel Vehicle Transport Spectre for 5. It is a blue and a hero. This name is the Ghost, Heart of the Family. Each other friendly Spectre unit gains this unit's keywords. Let that sink in for a second. Each other friendly Spectre unit gains this unit's keywords. So that's, every single card that is a unit. So ignore Carabas and Sparkle Rebellion. Which is also really cool that you get to play these under Hera because they are technically Spectre cards, which is listed right here. That's really good. Carabas, kind of terrible. I'm not going to lie to you. Sparkle Rebellion is a really good card. I think there are going to be other cards that are printed that are going to make it not as... it's not going to be the best option always. But in set 1, 2, and 3... there were decks that were running Sparkle Rebellion double off aspect for 6 because it did what it did just really well. Again, I don't really see that as being a theme for a long time, but still, being able to play that in Hera for 2 because it's a Spectre card and you get to ignore the yellow if you're not running yellow, that's awesome. That's good. But anyway, every single Spectre unit is gaining this unit's keywords when it has it. So when it drops on the field normally, it does not necessarily have the unit keywords, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. The second line of text says, while this unit is upgraded, it gains Sentinel. Okay. So basically what that says is if you can put, an experience token on another unique unit, you put it on here. He's upgraded. He has Sentinel. Every other Spectre unit you control has Sentinel now. In order to in order to be able to attack your base, they either have to get rid of the Ghost, they have to get rid of other Spectre units that are in the ground arena. Maybe all of their units are in the ground arena, right? Obviously, that's very optimistic. And don't get me wrong, I'm talking about this like it's the coolest thing in the world. I get it. It's not going to be the meta-defining deck, okay? But Hera has options now. I went ahead and I looked at like other keywords that we could maybe put on the Ghost, just kind of theorizing. I actually went to this website right here, looked up all the Star Wars Unlimited keywords. Believe it or not, it's not that much. This is not Magic the Gathering. We are chilling right now. This is a newer game. And I just started going through and thinking about like how would they get this keyword? Obviously, number 1 with Ambush, you could ECL out the Ghost. It has Ambush for the rest of the phase. When it gets a keyword for the rest of the phase, it technically has a keyword and it's giving everything else Ambush. Is that an optimal play? Absolutely not. Maybe Timely Intervention might be better. you might play it later. Playing this for 5 and then trying to play another thing and get ambush value out of it is probably not going to be the optimal strategy. Could it work in some very specific scenario? Absolutely. Is it going to be the best thing in the world? No, not at all. Grit is, we have one printed right here. Phantom 2, attached unit gets +3/+3 in grit, and gains grit. I said I was going to come back to this. The Phantom is literally designed to attach to this ghost. You can attach it to the first ghost, but you don't really need to. The first ghost is also more expensive. It's a 5/5 for 6. This is a 5/6 for 5. I mean, that's value right there. Obviously, this ghost is shielded and has other abilities and stuff. It still has its place. You could play this ghost. You could ECL in the second ghost the next turn. When played on it, or you don't have to ECL it. When you play the second ghost on the second attack, you can upgrade the ghost with that shield. When played, you may give a shield token to another Spectre unit. You upgrade the ghost. This unit is now upgraded against Sentinel. Everything has Sentinel. You know, everything doesn't get a shield because that's not how the keyword works, and giving a shield token as a keyword. But that's a trigger. You know, that's a line of play. Like I was saying before, Phantom 2, you attach unit gets +3/+3 gains grit. You put it on the ghost. Congratulations. Every single Spectre unit has grit. That's strong. Especially for 3-4 resources total. That's a lot of value for 3 resources in my opinion. It's very similar to the blue-black ship that gives everything grit. I think it's like a 6-drop or the last light, first light, something like that. It's like it's the black ship that's very vertical. I can't really remember. Doesn't really matter. That's a good little combo. This becomes a 8/9 with grit. My lord, that thing is gonna, if it gets to 1 health, it's gonna be a 16/1. That's again very, very niche specific scenario. But it's cool. It gives people a reason to play the deck. I would play this deck just with the intent of doing cool stuff. Again, let's get back to our thing. Raid X, red 3. Very simple card. A favorite in every red hero aggro deck. If you're running, maybe you're not running ECL, and you're running Hera, Tarkentown, Hera Red, whatever. You play red 3, raid 1, each other friendly hero unit gains raid 1. Well, all of these Spectres are already here. You know, so they're getting raid 1. This ghost is getting raid 1. If you have this ghost, that ghost is now giving everything else raid 1 also, and raid stacks. So now everything else has raid 2. Essentially, is what 1 red 3 and 1 5 resource copy of the ghost would do. The next one, sorry, I went ahead a little bit. Restore, bam, devotion. Attached unit gets restore 2. All your Spectres give restore 2. Shielded, I kind of didn't get one for shielded. It just seems too niche and too obscure of a keyword to really want to try and get. But overwhelm, planetary invasion, ready up to 3 units. Each of those units get +1/+0 and gains overwhelm for this phase. If one of the units you pick is the ghost, then everything would get overwhelmed. Obviously, this is a 12 cost card. This is a very, very extreme version of the card. I just thought it was funny. It has exploit also. Again, probably not going to be playing this card. A style of card, this technically doesn't work because it says attached to a token unit. Attached unit gains overwhelm. There will be more way. The only reason I bring this up is there will be more ways to get keywords printed in the future. So this combo and this card is only limited, like it's very open-ended, I guess is what I'm trying to say. More things can be printed. New keywords could be printed in the future. Maybe it's some insane keyword that when you put it on all of your units, it just goes through the roof, you know? Saboteur, tons of ways to get Saboteur. Infiltrator skill from set 1. Attached unit gains Saboteur. Everything's got Saboteur now. Sentinel doesn't matter. Shields, goodbye. Bounty brings me to the biggest weakness of this deck. If let's say somebody's playing Bosk or Jabba or something like that, if they put a bounty on the ghost, one of the developers came out and confirmed this. Every other Spectre will get the bounty, and it's the whole bounty. So if they put Jabba bounty, what is it? When this bounty is claimed, the next unit you play costs 1 less. Every single Spectre would then have that bounty on it. It's not very good. I actually very much enjoy playing things that have a very apparent weakness. I think it's fun to try to like how am I going to navigate playing against Bosk, and how am I going to navigate like when am I going to pack upgrade removal on my sideboard specifically for Bosk, or am I going to do this or that or whatever. I think it's fun. I think if something doesn't have apparent weaknesses, it's bad game design. It's not engaging. It's not collaborative. It's very harmful to the game environment. So I don't think it's the end of the world that the bounty is such a strong weakness for it. In fact, I think that there will be ways to deal with it in the future too. Besides that, smuggle doesn't really matter. Coordinate works same as bounty if you can get coordinate on it. I don't think there's anything that gives coordinate right now. I might be wrong though. And then exploit doesn't really matter as much. You're not really going to be doing a lot of villainy stuff uh in this type of deck. But the main reason I wanted to talk about this and bring this up with the Ghost is for all of my people who came from Magic the Gathering. This essentially is Spectre Slivers. It's turned on by one specific card. This is a bomb for Hera. Is what most card game terminology would use for it. This is the bomb that you want to drop that you're trying to win the game with. So you're gonna drop the Ghost. You're gonna give everything great, and you're trying to close out the game. The new Hera gives Restore 1. You put this Hera on Ghost. Now, every single unit you have has Restore 1. Dude, that is insanely good. Oh, also, because it's a pilot, this unit is upgraded against Sentinel. So everything has Sentinel and Restore 1. That is solid. I mean, that is just fun. But, back to what I was saying about Magic. This is just Spectre Slivers. I'm actually incredibly partial. I have my own. I have a Slivers commander deck with Sliver Overlord as the commander. I know how annoying they can be. I know how not fun they can be. But Slivers is just the classic Magic. I'm dropping creatures and I'm smashing your face with them. They all, for those who don't know, Slivers are typically. Let me just look up Slivers MTG. Slivers are typically. They do something that says all slivers have flanking, or all sliver creatures you control, other slivers creatures you control have Outlast 2. Cascade. Sliver spells you cast have a cascade. They give each other keywords. They give each other abilities. They give each other buffs in terms of sliver creatures you control have flying. Sliver creatures get +2/+0. It's essentially, it's not raid. It's more of like a grit type situation, but creatures you control have double strike. Slivers have trample. I think with the ghosts being printed like this, it opens up this brand new aspect to building where you're building around these keywords. You can decide, do you want to pack 3 devotion? Do I want to pack, obviously Nameless Valor doesn't work like I said, but do I want to pack 3 infiltrator skills because I'm trying to get Saboteur? Am I getting Restore 2? Am I focused on getting Raid? How do I want to build this deck to where I have to use this foundational piece to build off of? I hope that they print more things that have an effect similar to this and really go all in on the Spectre Slivers aspect. I don't care if it's like an upgrade, if it's maybe I'd love to see them print enchantments, but that's a whole other video and conversation, or whatever the equivalent of enchantments would be. I think that they could do something like a base upgrade that you don't have to destroy in order to win. Something of that variety, where maybe it's an ongoing effect. I think they'll get to that eventually. I'm not in any rush. I am enjoying the flow of this game. I'm enjoying the creativity of this game. I'm enjoying this game is being made by people who clearly love card games, and I'm a really, really big fan of that. But I really love what they did with the Ghosts. I love all the Spectres. Like I said, I tried to play them in set 1. I did play them in set 1 for longer than I probably should have. I set them down, and I told myself when they print more Spectres, I'm coming back to it because I really love the deck. I loved being able to play the rainbow and all the colors. They printed Sabine in set 3. I picked up 6 copies of her, 3 for an Ahsoka deck I was playing, and 3 for my future Spectre deck when I came back. I didn't feel like this card was enough of an excuse to rebuild, or not rebuild, but construct and go all in on the Spectres again. I think with these 4 cards right here, it is time for the Spectres to make a comeback, and I think they will be the most fun mid deck you will ever play. So again, I'm not coming at these videos when I talk about this stuff. I'm not coming from a perspective of, oh, this is going to be the most competitive deck in the world. This is going to be like what is going to win planetary qualifiers. You're going to win your store showdowns with this. I'm coming at it from the angle of, is this going to do something cool on the board? Am I going to have a good time playing it? And the answer with this deck is, yeah. They were fun already to play. It was fun to play things out of aspect and not have to pay the penalty on it. That alone was appealing. Now you get the sliver take on Spectre units where they get all the keywords and stuff like that, and you get support like Phantom 2 and Hera and Sabine's Masterpiece that really just like open up the options. So like Sabine's opens up the options for what you can do with the deck. The Ghost is a bomb for the deck finally. Before, your bomb was the Ghost. The Ghost 1, I guess you could say. We were given a shield token to another Spectre unit. It's not really that worth it, to be honest, when there's so many better things you could play at 6 or even less than 6. What would you rather have, a Ghost 1 or Poe Dameron? That's what I want you to think about right now. Obviously, you're going to go with Poe every single time. But besides that, let me know down below what you guys think. Do you think Spectres are going to be cool? Do you think they're going to be fun? Did you already enjoy Spectres? Do you think Spectres are the stupidest thing in the world? Please let me know down below. Again, I'm a really big fan of Spectres. I think this will be really fun. I cannot wait to finish a deck and with set 4 and start playtesting and see what works and what I like, see what extra cards I want to pack in and stuff. But yeah, I'm just really excited for this deck. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is my YouTube channel. I make videos for fun. This is a complete hobby for me, but I am absolutely motivated by numbers. I love seeing it when my videos do well. In fact, I'm such a small YouTuber. I only have 208 subscribers. This isn't a pity case or anything, but when I hit 49 views on a video 2 weeks ago, that's a pretty damn good video for me. I'm pretty proud of that. You know, obviously I played zombies. I do some other stuff like that. If you're into anything like this, I literally just make videos on stuff I'm interested in. Here's a Balatro video. I just make videos on stuff I'm interested in. If you like that appeal, please subscribe. If not, doesn't really matter to me. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my other videos.